Hi there, welcome in. You're watching Lowcountry Money Talk. We're just kicking off our show today. I'm Jessa Jeremiah, joined now by expert Phil Bloyd. He's with Revolutionary Financial Group. It's nice to see you.
It's good to be back again.
Wow. Can I start a show by saying wow?
Things changed a little since the last show, right?
Yeah, you know what? And it's big wow factor because there's so much happening, of course, socially, but we're wondering right now, in lieu of our discussion today on Lowcountry Money Talk, what does what's happening in the world right now mean for us? Lots of folks that are in or entering retirement have questions about their financial security. Sure. So let's talk about this and what are we really looking at with the stock market right now?
Volatility and more volatility. But, we've always talked about being prepared. I mean, if we go back to, our first shows, we were talking about a bull market strategy, a bear market strategy, so on and so forth. And I think part of the market now, the NASDAQ at least, the one index is in a bear territory, meaning it's 20% off its high. Mm-hmm. So that happened pretty quickly. Yeah. But there's a lot of volatility. I also have mentioned in previous shows that, these volatilities show you maybe some weaknesses or some chink in your investment armor. So maybe now is the time to take a look and see maybe where you have some issues.
Yeah, and that is a difficult task right now because what we're looking at each day is highs here, lows there, then lows, then they switch, and so it's really hard to understand what's happening.
Sure.
You explained some things for me here on the break about how there's this sort of teetering, if you will, of the stock market. Share that with our viewers.
Okay, sure. So I've noticed this probably going back even to October or so. There seems to be days where, you'll have a run up in the Dow Industrials, the NASDAQ, they may go up 1.5%, 2%, and everybody's like, oh, great, it's over. They take a break, and then the next day it reverses again. But when that happens, I've also noticed there's almost two parts to the market. There's a grouping of commodity-based stocks. We can look at gold miners, silver miners, rails, food companies, things of this, oil companies as well. It seems that when one side of that market spikes up, the other side spikes down, and then vice versa.
Right.
So we have to make sure that we have a diverse portfolio, but we also have to make sure that we're not overly invested in individual equities, because if you're taking income now, it's very confusing if I'm taking income from the growth side of my portfolio, or I have to, in essence, sell equities to get my monthly income. I never want to be in that position. But I am seeing some people that come to visit me that are new, and they're in exactly that position.
Right.
So.
Well, and it is hard to know exactly how to handle it, and you do get stuck in these positions because when we're seeing these fluctuations, we're not really understanding necessarily why that's happening. You use the term fear trading.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about that. Do clients get stuck in that same mentality?
I mean, still, Jessa, we're like the market's driven by fear and greed. So, you have a war going on overseas, and then the fear kicks in, and it's like, oh my gosh, and this and that. And the feeling would be, I gotta sell and get out of that. But if you've already dropped so quickly, 20% of, maybe that's not the best thing to do at the time. We wanna be more strategic, we wanna be more planning, we wanna be more ahead of things. We don't want the fear in the market to determine what we do. We don't want that, what we would call a knee jerk.
Right. What's interesting about this concept is we know this intellectually, right? We know we're not supposed to sell low and buy high, but it is so counterintuitive to what feels right because we do get so nervous in these volatile markets that it's difficult. Sometimes we need folks like you to get us off the ledge a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we'll talk a little bit more in the next segment, but the other thing is when we have a recovery day, then people think, oh, okay, it's back to normal. That's not true either.
Right. I think you said it's a smoke screen, so we'll unpack that more. We've got a ton to talk about here on Lowcountry Money Talk. We hope you'll stick with us on the other side of this break. We'll be right back.